Well, good morning. And what a beautifully calm one it is. And there's every possibility this gimbal's going to go walkies in a minute because I've got a light balanced on the edge of it. I've come down to have a look at somewhere I'm probably going to kill the pronunciation of, Kemmers Bay. Kemmers? In Wales, in Anglesey to be precise. And I've not been here before, I've seen a few pictures. Excuse the very dodgy hair apparel, but the humidity is ridiculous. And I had a feeling that my hair was going to be all over the place. Now I don't think we've got high enough tide to get water around the bell today, which is really annoying. There's some beautifully stormy clouds out there. I say stormy, they're actually white fluffy clouds that could be beginning to get a hint of sunlight. The sun is rising over that way, so the sunlight is going to come in across the bay, which was what I was wanting. It's so calm. The little harbour is fabulous. It's just not quite calm enough to get some proper reflection images. Now, this tide bell, I've been doing some reading, and it's the same as the one at Mablethorpe. There's apparently 4. There's supposed to be some more installations. There is one at, I'm not even going to pronounce it, it's somewhere else in Wales. And I believe there's one somewhere down south in Devon. And it's actually an art installation rather than anything more sinister than that. But there it is. Now high tide is 7:30. Sunrise is just before 7 o'clock. And as I say, I needed to get away, chill my bones. Some friends very kindly looking after Pooch for me, so I can get away and just switch off. And this is a place that tides were the closest to being perfect. They're still not ideal, but they're as close as I could get. So I'm going to work with what I've got. I'm going to have a little wander around. We've got lots of rocks covered in masses of seaweed. There's some little rock pools. A very strong smell of sea, it's wonderful. Oh, God, yeah, that is strong. The seaweed smells horrific. Whew. Right, let's have a mosey round, see what we can find to shoot. Now I'm fully aware that this is a sunset location. You have to make do with what you've got. And we've got some colour in the sky. Just up there, it doesn't look much up there, but it's actually quite pleasant. Lovely soft pastel colours. It's not an ideal composition because, as I say, the tide times aren't quite right. And it's quite a low tide, low high tide, if that makes sense. We've actually got the first colour in the sky that I've seen in what feels like forever. So I'm doing a portrait orientation. There is a little area that's got a lack of seaweed in it just here that leads through to the bell. The bell is positioned between the 2 headlands. I've got the 6-stop on, I've got a reverse grad on because that sky is considerably brighter than the water. So yes, I've just had a quick nosy at that and slightly too long on the exposure. The 6-stop I was thinking was going to give me around a minute, and I've left it for 1.25 minutes. And the place is just beginning to come alive. I'm just catching that little bit of light, or that little bit of colour in the sky. The whole area over here is beginning to glow with those beautiful dawn pastel colours. So I'm quite pleased. As I say, even though the tide isn't perfect, I'm not going to be a grumpy mare. Let's have a look, see if I can get that. Yeah, I don't dislike that at all. The reason for putting the grad filter on was because I found the normal the 0.6 soft grad just wasn't cutting it at all. This foreground is so dark that it was just ending up in shadow, and I don't think I really wanted that. I'll try that again. How many seconds was that? Oh, I think I've triggered an exposure. Let's try again, shall we? Yes, I did. I pressed the wrong button. That was, oh, I haven't got my glasses on. 50 seconds, and I think we can go slightly less than that. 30 seconds is probably going to be about right. And while I'm having a grump, if anybody has any recommendations for gimbal, I'd be really appreciative. My Xeon something 2, can't remember the name of it, finally kind of gave up through the several years of abuse that I've given it. So I bought the next one up, which I think is a Z4 or something. And it's pants. It's absolute trash. I have tried and tried and tried, and I cannot get the thing to balance properly. My phone is the lightest weight phone ever, and it just flops for no reason. So I'm on the lookout for a new one. Now, if it's got an app with it, it has to be Android compatible, because I don't do Apple in any way, shape or form. So yes, answers on a postcard or down below, please. That would be most appreciated. Now, high tide is 7:45, so we've got about 3/4 of an hour to go. I think the light is going to stay quite soft, so long exposures are still going to be doable. So I think I'm just going to have a mooch around. I've just spotted a set of steps. Where are we? No, wrong place altogether. Over here somewhere. That seem to lead maybe down to a little harbour. So I might go along and have a look at that. The water is just a little bit too rough to get any reflections in the harbour. What a beautiful little place. We've got a bank of cloud coming up, so that should work well for minimal stuff. I tried to do a little bit of a walk around of the clanger on the bell. That little bit there is what gets moved by the tide when it's getting high. And there's, I think it's called the Sailor's Prayer on it. I'll try and link to below, or I'll try and post it below. But while I've been waiting for the tide to come in, I've been having a mosey around this wonderful place. Look at those cloud formations. I mean, fabulous. And I've come across this here little rock, just down here. There's a little bit of seaweed on it, which is glowing quite nicely green against the really dark rock. And I've gone for a portrait orientation. I'm on the 17-55 lens. I've got the 6 stop on and a 0.6 grad. And I don't think you're going to be able to see this clearly. No, because it's too dark. But I think that kind of works because the clouds aren't moving. Hang on, let's see if we can pull this out a bit. No, you're not really going to see that. What a state of me. There's insufficient rocks and pebbles on the beach to give that dragging motion, so I'm not getting any white stuff. But I quite like it. I've got a smoothish sea with some really dramatic clouds. I've gone high key, but I'm not really sure it's a high key image. It could be. There is now some water around the bottom of the tide bell, which has possibly opened up a little bit more composition-wise. So I think I'm going to have a go at that. I quite like that little rock. I haven't walked very far. I've walked like 50 yards. I'm still fascinated by those steps. There might be something there, there might not be. But this sky is just amazing. Best clouds I've seen in a long while. Let's say, because the sun's coming up behind us, it's putting some gorgeous light on there, but it's still staying soft. Well, I've taken a wander over from the beach to where I saw the set of steps, but having got there, there's not actually anything there that I could photograph. So I've had a wander around these beautiful rocks, some fascinating history, which I might try and take a little snap of how the rock formations were made by the tectonic plates or tectonic plates. The sky is still decent, the light is still fairly soft because the sun is hidden behind a bank of cloud over there. And I'm kind of struggling for anything that's appealed, but I found this. Let me flip you around. Not the most exciting composition, but this puddle of water, this pool of water that comes in from the bottom right-hand side. So I've shot down low to try and exclude the sea in the background. So we've just got water, rocks, and sky. And essentially that's my composition. But this water in my frame is coming in bottom right hand corner because I shot in portrait orientation, so I've got plenty of sky. I banged the 10 stop on to see if we could get some streakiness in the sky, and I think it kind of works. There's some beautiful, what appeals is the beautiful colours in these rocks. The lichen that are growing on them, they pop, the yellow pops against the black. I put the polarizer on to try and keep some of the reflections here and see if we could get some more detail in the sky. And I think that kind of works, possibly. And then schoolboy error came into play. My battery decided to die, and then I discovered that my spare battery was also dead. Right, pack up, go have some porridge, battery's on charge, and see what else we can do. I've actually got some filters to review, so I might have a go at that next. Catch you in a bit, or catch you next Sunday. Depends how it goes. Bye for now.